let's talk about, you said it's a micro story. One story which has played out is a lot of money has moved from large cap financials to IT this year, and in fact in the last quarter of last year as well. Do you reckon it's just a valuation adjustment trade, or are you sensing something big here?
So I'm not a big fan of IT because I think the Indian IT companies have really missed the bus in terms of, getting into the new level of, cutting edge technology, be it on the artificial intelligence or machine learning, any of those. And when I look at Chinese counterparts who were nowhere, suddenly have market caps of 10 billion, 20 billion, who are in the specialized technology space. So we may not like when you say it's body shopping, but look at the way H-1B visas are applied for. You know that this is like a labor arbitrage that is going on. And look at the NASSCOM numbers, it's 7 to 8% growth. So yeah, so it is for a value investor, there is some opportunity here. But normally global investors don't come to India for value investing. I could buy Accenture or IBM for the same price. So if you ask me, I'm not a big bull on Indian IT. Yeah, there is some value and you could play that. But on a structural basis, if you ask me, I'm not bullish on IT.
I just want to come back to that point you were making about the e-way bill rollout.
Right.
What's the feedback that you're getting? What kind of hurdles do you think it could pose?
So if you look at the way e-way bill is structured today, if I'm a company, I'm moving my own good from my factory to go down, I need a e-way bill. Yeah. From my go down to my distributor, I need a e-way bill. So there are too many, your documentation that is required. Okay. Today, with the lack of e-way bill, there's a complete free-for-all. So if you see one of the reasons why we haven't seen increased collection in GST, when I speak to people on the ground, corporates, that the unorganized actually gained. So the whole thesis was organized will gain over unorganized. It's been the opposite. Unorganized has gained because there's nothing, there's no stopping anywhere, there's no checking. So it's complete free for all. So now to correct that, the government is going a bit more stricter on the e-way bill. They've tried it twice and they've had glitches. So in my view, this will have some issues, at least in the initial phases. For the first 1 month, we've seen this, that in the past 2 attempts, the systems were not great. So this time they're trying to do only interstate, and then they'll come with intrastate. Okay. I do anticipate that this will have some issues, but over a longer period of time, this is great. But in the short term, when we're already grappling with many of these issues, this may not be great when you see companies complaining that we're not able to move goods.
Okay, I'm just adding up all the pledges created by the Adani Group. It's fairly large. Pledge of 7 lakh shares of Adani Enterprises, 1 lakh share of Adani Transmission, those are the smaller ones. Adani Ports has created for 91 lakh shares, and Adani Power is the maximum with pledge of 4.3 crore shares. So it's big time pledging of shares by the promoter. In various places, it's Gautam Adani himself who has pledged his shares, clearly indicating that money is hard to come by, and probably that is why the pledge is being created. Big stuff here. Well, finally, you said your move in the current scenario will be to protect capital.
Yes.
How do you do that? Which shares?
So as I said, this is very bottom up right now. So you can find good companies with strong earnings growth visibility. So that's a broad thesis with which we work. So there are enough sectors, like one of the sectors that we like is on the road construction side. And having met some of these companies over the last 3 months, what we've seen in the last few months and in the next 3-4 months, there's an expectation of huge amount of orders which are on the pipeline. And some of them are in advanced stages. We're already seeing every day we get announcements of road companies getting orders. So we do like the road space in particular. And there is similar stuff in some of the engineering companies. Consumer durables is one of the spaces that that we like. Generally, consumer in general. And of course, the private sector banks is the other space that we broadly like.